Let's talk about how to do a void, refund, and adjustment. So on the same day, so in Toast from the application, if you go to payment terminal, you're able to see all of your previous checks. So open means anything that doesn't have a payment, paid, anything that had a credit card presented with no tip added, and paper receipts. And the close would be everything that's been finalized. So with the digital experience, like a Toast Go or the terminals with a guest-facing display, that all happens right away. So in this one, let's say that a guest came back and said that the pretzel wasn't right. So we need to do an adjustment. So we search for the check in the closed column. If you go to search, the little magnifying glass, there's some options here where you can search for it by check number, credit card. In here, we can see that with this check, we can just pull this one up. It's over here. And then we need to make an adjustment. So the update takes me to the pay screen. I'm sorry, the update takes me to the order screen, this one. And then pay takes me to the pay screen. And this one. So they'll both take us to different places. So on this one, I'm going to go into update and I'm going to touch on one of the pretzels. Since the guest already left with this, we're going to do a discount of 100%. Okay, so now when there's a negative amount here, that means we need to give the customer back some money. Okay, so on this one, I can move to the pay screen. And I can see on this one that we need to give the guest back the amount. Okay, so I can do the refund here since this guest paid in cash. This error message is just coming up because I'm not connected to a printer. In best practices to do the cash refund from the same drawer that the cash was taken in. And then you can print the receipt for the guest and give them that back, would show the refund and that discount. So you'll always be able to see that on the check as well. If you need to do a void payment, so let's go touch on this other check here. I can see that we had two pretzels. The total was 1161. We paid 1161, and their balance due is 0. And so we rang up the two items, then we paid against it, so we're at 0. If I go into pay, whether it's a credit card or a cash payment, same day you'll see this word void, which means that you're going to remove that payment before you settle with the night. And so we can do void on here. Try to do the void on the same day, same drawer that the cash was taken on. But then what this does is it removes that payment. And now I'm back to owing an amount. So then I can pay this off a different way with any of the other kinds of tender or a different card. And so void removes the payment the same day. Now that check will be moved to open. Right here. Let's take a look at shift review. So when I'm ready to leave. And so as a server, I'm going to go to where it says my account. I'm going to go to shift review. Then I'm going to look through this list and I'm going to see what I need to do. So in order for me to close my shift, I need to make sure that all of my checks are closed. So this is our very first step. So when I'm ready to leave, I don't want anything in open checks because that means I ring items up and I didn't pay against them. Okay, closed checks are good, open checks not so much. I'm going to touch here where it says closed checks. I'm going to move to this screen. I'm going to say, I rang up 2, never paid them off. So we should do what's correct here. So do I need to find the form of payment? Do I need to discount those items or do I need to void the check? Okay, so in this case, I'm going to void the check. So I'm going to go here into the update screen. Then from the overflow menu here, I can do void order. Okay, that would be when I rang something up and they never got made. And so I'll do training and testing here. So now when I go back to that shift review, I can see that I have a green check mark and no open checks. It's going to let me move to the next step, which is close shift. In here, I don't have any credit card transactions, but I do see that I have 1648 cash that I took that's in the drawer. So this 1648 is what I brought in that is in the drawer. Now, I may or may not be the one closing the drawer. That's okay. This is just showing what I put into the drawer today. Now, if you need to look at any other values on here, you can do that. And then from here, I can either clock out or I can do clock out and start a new shift. If I need to print this, I can touch on the print icon here. In this instance, I'm going to do a clock out and then I'll do complete shift review. And now I'm ready to go. Let's take a look at cash management. Okay, so from the main menu, when I do cash management and I go to cash drawers, I can see here active is any money that's in the drawer now, open, any money that needs to be counted, and closed, anything that has been closed. Okay, so this is permission driven, so you may or may not see a number here. But I'm going to go ahead and touch on this line. And then I have some options here. So if I'm going to close the drawer and I don't see a value in here, I'm going to go right here to where it says close drawer. And then I'm going to type what's in the drawer, including the starting balance. And so this is where I'm going to put the entire count of the drawer. We want you to have to do the least amount of math. So when you go to count bills, you can use this to put the quantity of each bill, and this will calculate totals. Okay, if you do see the values here, this tells you the amount that should be in the drawer. So here I would put what was in the drawer. So maybe if I had $17, I would put 17 here, and then I would touch on close drawer. And now that has moved from active to closed. And so I'm able to close the drawer that way. You can have as many drawers as you need during the day too. You know, like you have someday you have many people working and they all need their own drawer restart. That's okay. This is just coming up because the printer that I tried to print was not connected on here. So I'll just dismiss that. Let's look at how to find a check. Okay, so from manager activities, you can do from the terminal, you can go to manager activities and find checks and issue refund, which will take you to the refund check here. Same thing, same page that it takes you to. So from ToastWeb or the terminal, it'll have an experience like this. You can look for a check number on a certain day. So check numbers start over at 1 every day. So you would need the check number and the day that the check was on. If you don't have one, you can just search for the day and do search and you'll get a chronological check. Find by ID, probably lesser used. Find by customer info, a little bit less unless you're tracking customer info, you can use those. Find by credit card is usually the most helpful. So here you'll go into find by credit card. You'll type in the last 4 digits of the card, and you'll be able to find all of the transactions from that one. Advanced search allows you to search by check amount, employee, or a range. So let's say someone says, I'm not sure, but I think I spent between $10 and $15 and I was there last week. I could put 10 to 15 here. Then I could do from the 19th to the 23rd on mine. Once you do search on here, you'll be able to find all of those checks. I'm going to go back to find by check number. Let me search by here. Once you have some checks, there's some options on here where it says actions to be able to text message the receipt, email the receipt, or show the receipt. It's great when customers ask for a receipt and you're able to text it to them before they hang up the phone. That's usually very helpful. Let's look at closeout day. So from your terminal main screen, when you go to manager activities and closeout day, This is what happens when the day closes. So you'll want to make sure there are no unpaid checks. Checks in Toast will roll till the next day and the next day and the next day, and on in perpetuity. So if everyone does their shift review, you won't have any unpaid checks. But unpaid checks would mean we didn't post a payment against the check. So we don't want to have any inflated sales there. If you do have any, you can just touch on view and it'll take you right to the checks. Unclosed checks would just be anything that didn't have a tip added in a paper receipt. Again, these are minimized when you use the Toast Go or the terminals with the guest-facing display. Here would be if you have any clocked-in employees. It is okay to do this if you still have someone prepping or cleaning. Just make sure they clock out when they leave. If you have any checks that need to be captured, this would be any like your batch. This will happen automatically at a pre-configured time, so you don't have to do this. And then unclosed drawers would be what we looked at earlier with the cash drawers. So if you have any unclosed drawers, you can just touch on view and go right to the drawer to close. Actual deposit is where you will type your deposit that you're taking to the bank. So after you've done your cash drawers and you came up with the amount that's going to go to the bank, this is where you'd put that value. All of this happens at a predetermined time. So at the end of each day, Toast will work through all of these, but this is great to get a good overall view at the end of the day of what happened. This Z report is the same information as the sales summary, just on receipt paper, but shows you some great values like your total net sales, how much you took in different kinds of payments, voids, etc. It's a great report here.